Something's not right.
Hey there y'all, welcome back to groovybricks. Not many people talk about the original Clone Wars series from 2003, so I thought I'd show it some love with a couple of LEGO MOCs. The main build is based on the scenes we've been watching, then after that I'll show off a smaller bonus build, so stick around until the end so you don't miss out. Be sure to blast that like button and let's get into it. Starting out with the minifigs in the MOC, I used the 2013 version of Ventress and added a black hood, cape, and comma. I also swapped her black legs for some Valkyrie legs to get a little closer to what we see in the show. I used the 2013 Anakin minifig and swapped out his head for the Revenge of the Sith version to look a little more menacing. Then I added a brown hood and dark brown cape. Lastly, I used some white Phase 1 clone troopers. I didn't change anything with these guys because I think the newer style clones look pretty accurate to the old school animation. Now onto the MOC itself. I started with a rectangular frame, then designed a path that would weave in between plants and trees from one end of the build to the other. The first tree is supposed to be much older and larger than the other two, so I used a lot more dark brown to exemplify that. I also built a small perch on top for reasons you'll find out later. The second tree is supposed to be kind of a smaller swamp tree, so I used more plant pieces and vibrant shades of green. One of its roots juts out into the water as a little nod to this scene that I couldn't recreate at this scale. The last tree is a much taller forest tree inspired by the ones in the indoor speeder chase diorama. Since I didn't want it to be insanely tall, the tree is actually broken into two with the top half leaning against the trunk. You can tell it wasn't a clean break from all the broken twigs and branches scattered around on the forest floor. But now that all the details are out of the way, it's time for the final product. After chasing a mysterious starfighter to Yavin 4, Anakin and his squad of clone troopers wander the planet's lush forest surface in search of the ship's pilot. Little do they know they're looking for the Sith apprentice Asajj Ventress, who lurks in the trees above, hunting the Jedi and his companions one by one. This MOC was really fun to put together. I have a ton of different plant and tree pieces in my collection, so I knew I wanted to use them in a MOC. I didn't want to do something like Indoor or Kashyyyk though, because I usually build at a smaller scale and far more talented builders have already attempted those places. Eventually I bought the Anakin Starfighter LEGO set based on the older Clone Wars series, and that's when I had the idea to recreate this classic scene from the show. This is the largest MOC I've finished so far, and I'm pretty happy with how it turned out. One thing I would definitely change is the color of the plates underneath the water, and maybe even the color of the water itself, but I'll worry about that stuff next time I build something like this. The next MOC is much smaller and doesn't need a full breakdown, so I'm just going to play you the clip it's based on, then roll into the showcase.